to recent federal budget cuts, 1.85 million pounds of USDA food will no longer reach San Diegans in need, and these cuts reflect a broader trend of declining federal support for hunger relief. Joining us now to discuss that is San Diego Food Bank CEO Castillo. Casey, always good to see you. Good morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good morning.
Absolutely. Let's talk about first what this food relief program does here in San Diego and who it serves.
Yeah, so the program's called the Emergency Food Assistance Program. It's an amazing program. It's a federal program. We have a couple of federal programs. This particular program is for income qualifying individuals and families. And through this program, we're feeding over 90,000 people per month. It's a big number. These are seniors living on a fixed income, working parents, military, so both active military and their families, and veterans, children, and those with disabilities. So we're feeding really anyone who's hungry and qualifies. This is an amazing product, a high-value, nutrition-rich product like frozen meat, eggs, milk, cheese, items really that our families rely on to balance their diets.
And so discuss what's happening federally that is going to impact San Diegans.
Yeah, so due to recent budget decisions, we received notification about a week and a half ago that 25 truckloads of food that were scheduled to come to the San Diego Food Bank to our warehouses over the next 4 months have been canceled. So that's about 1.5 million meals. So it's a big deal, and we are really concerned about what that'll mean for our families. I've spent the last week in Washington, D.C., working with our elected officials, and what we were hearing in these meetings is there's a concerning trend that nationally there's looking to be a reduction to food assistance programs across the board. We're concerned about that, not just the program we're here talking about, but other programs like food stamps. What's concerning about that, and what we've seen historically and experienced that here in San Diego, is that with their cuts like that, it drives more people to organizations like ours, to the San Diego Food Bank. So while we are now going to be experiencing cuts with the Emergency Food Assistance Program, with these other cuts, it's going to drive even more people to our lines, to the San Diego Food Bank, and increase demand.
Right, because I know there's oftentimes we cover the distributions, the food distributions, which aren't specifically for those qualified individuals, right? Anyone is welcome to drive up and receive the food that is distributed. And so those lines, you believe, obviously, would be getting impacted with more people.
Absolutely, you're right. We have about a dozen programs overall. So we have a program for anyone who's facing food insecurity. We're expecting all of our programs to increase, or at least that demand to increase. It's going to put a lot of pressure on our team, a lot of pressure on the community, and a lot of pressure on our community partners. We partner with 450 nonprofits throughout the county. 74 of them help us with this emergency food assistance program to distribute that food. But all of those 450 nonprofit partners are also going to be experiencing pressure.
So what, I guess, is the call to action for the community? How can those who are able to help with the San Diego Food Bank?
Well, we've been here before. We've faced challenges before. This community has faced challenges. The pandemic, wildfires, economic downturns. We've been able to act, adapt, and respond quickly because of the generous support of this community time and time again. We're going to need to rely on this community once more. In the short term, they've helped us build emergency reserves so that our recipients and community partners are not seeing any disruption in the short term, but we're also thinking long term. And we know that those funds are not limitless. And so we're going to call on the community to help again, help us rebuild those funds so we're ready for the next emergency or whatever that is down the road. The other thing I'll point out is that those cuts that we experience, the value of that food is just under $1.7 million. We're going to try to replace that. But that 1.7 is based on government negotiating and those costs. We don't have that same buying power. As we attempt to replace those, we think it's going to cost about twice of the 1.7. So we're looking to recoup about $3 million so that we can replace this food without any disruptions to those that we serve.
Now, those income qualifying individuals, is there a reach out that you've had with those individuals about what they can expect, or to get them sort of to the front of the line?
We have been communicating, and what we've been telling them at this point, that you're not going to see any disruptions. And so we've been able to do that. We've been able to continue this program without those disruptions, without lowering the quantity of food that they're receiving. Again, that's in the short term. We now need to rebuild those reserves so that we can replace those pounds of food and make sure in the long term there are also no disruptions.
All right. And the immediate action is, I guess, to go to the website, find ways to volunteer and donate if you can.
We're going to rely on the community once again. Yes, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org. Try to make it easy to be engaged. Be part of our advocacy. You can donate money. You can participate in food drives. But yes, we're asking the community to help us replace those pounds of food, and I think we can do it.
All right. Casey Castillo, thank you so much. Appreciate the work you do.
Thanks, Lauren.
All right. We are going to take a quick break. We'll have all that information on our website as well at KUSI.com. Click on the Scene On tab. We'll be right back. Stay with us.